Hi there, it's Liz Yuille from Old Stables Crafts, UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today is a slightly different project because it's a very special day. Today is the culmination of Autism Awareness Week, and it culminates with the World Autism Awareness Day. So I am delighted that I was invited to take part in a blog hop that is all around Autism Awareness Day. There are, at the time of recording this, we're hoping for 50 of us on this international blog hop. So this is the card that I have made for the blog hop. The details of the blog hop are in my blog post, which is immediately below. The link is immediately below this video. I encourage you to go and have a look at that and to hop along to see all the other projects. There will be some fantastic projects. I haven't seen them yet because while I'm recording this, other people are recording theirs. So I haven't seen all the projects yet, but I know who's on the blog hop. And there are some amazing designers on the blog hop. I am truly honoured to be amongst them. So the worldwide symbol for autism awareness is now a light bulb. It used to be a jigsaw puzzle piece, and that's now slightly frowned on because children and adults who are on the autistic spectrum feel quite rightly that they are not a puzzle to be fixed. So it is now a light bulb and the colour blue. So I don't have any stamps of light bulbs, so I rather racked my brains to come up with something, and then I realised that a balloon upside down looks remarkably like a light bulb. At least I think it does, so I hope you will agree. So this is what I've come up with. I hope you can pick up that it's all shiny because I've used actually rather too much, but I've used Wink of Stella as well as some foil cardstock, not foil, glitter cardstock. So I will show you how I made it, and I've got a sentiment inside. So we've got shine on the outside, and there's nothing little about the light you shine on the inside, because I thought for Autism Awareness Day that was a good sentiment to choose. So I'm using the dies from the Up and Away Thinlets set, and I'm using the sentiments from High Tide. It's got some amazing sentiments on, so and they were just right. I felt they were just right for this. So it's actually quite a quick card to make. I have to say the design probably took me 20 times longer than the card actually took to make. So here are all the pieces. Here are all the pieces, pretty much. So we've got, and all the dimensions will be on my blog post, which is linked below. So if you're not one of my regular viewers, then all of the dimensions are below in the blog post. So there's a little link just immediately below this video. So if you click there, you'll get all the dimensions and all the products that I've used and information about the National Autism Society in the UK, and all that good stuff, and the links to the other hoppers. So a piece of Pacific Point card. This is A4 cut in half and scored down the middle. So that makes our basic base. And once upon a time I had a bone folder on my desk, which seems to have disappeared. I'm sure it will come to the surface any moment now if I stop looking for it. Anyway, I will find it, and I will give that a proper burnish. Anyway, so moving swiftly on, I have already. Oh, I can't see it for looking at me. It's right in front of me. It was merging into my white desk. So that's the basic card base. Then I've got 2 pieces of Whisper White cardstock. This is for the insert. This is cut at 5 5/8 by 3 7/8. I've got the metric and the dimensions on my blog post, so don't worry about writing those down. That's what I would call the smooth stamping cardstock. This is thick Whisper White, and I've used this balloon to cut out the card base, to cut the shape. Now, I will end up with a balloon that I can then use on another project, so once I've got all the little pieces out. But I won't bore you with that because that's not why I cut it out. I wanted it for the shape. So this is a slightly smaller piece. This is 5.5 by 3 3/4. Then I've got a piece of silver glimmer card, and this is cut at the same size as the Whisper White, so 5 5/8 by 3 7/8, and then this is just going to come over the top, so we get that little glimmery bit around the side, and also the bit at the top. If you notice here, I've got this bit at the top that's not got any infill, and that's the bit that goes into the light fitting, is how my brain's working. I have then cut this die set. You can cut all the little pieces that make up the balloon, and I've just cut them out of shades of blue, so that they start dark at the top and they are lighter at the bottom. Obviously I've got it the other way up on the card, and then it's theoretically, you then put the cut-out balloon over the top to make your balloon. So I've cut those already. So we've got Soft Sky, Tempting Turquoise, Marina Mist, Pacific Point, so the same colour as the card base, and Night of Navy. So I've pre-cut those as well. And I've then got a piece of, it's the white silver edged ribbon, this, which with a stamping blend marker in the light navy, I have coloured, and I will show you how I did that, just so that you know. It does take a little while just to dry, so that's why I've prepared it. So with your stamping blend, there's a thick end, a brush end, and a bullet point end, and I'm using the brush end, which is lovely and soft. Ooh, I can't get the lid back on. There we go. You want that click because it keeps the alcohol from evaporating. So with the brush end, never go in pointy with your brush end. If you need a point, use this end. But just literally just colour your ribbon, and it just takes the colour. I tend to go over a couple of times, so once on one side and then I come back on the other side. Doesn't actually matter, but that's how you do it. Just make sure you don't do it on a surface that matters. So let's put it all together and do a little bit of stamping. So we're going to start with some stamping. Just down in the bottom corner here, I'm going to stamp the word shine. Now, this word shine is part of a full saying, so you have the amazing ability to take an ordinary moment and make it shine. I just want the word shine, so I've got a Pacific Point Stampin' Right marker. These have the same ink as our ink pads, and with the side of the marker, I'm just coming over the stamp and picking out the word shine. Now, on photopolymer stamps, sometimes you will find that the ink will bead up, because it's fine on red rubber, but sometimes you will find on photopolymer it will bead up if you use a marker pen to apply your colour. There is a trick which I will show you in a minute of how to season your stamps so it doesn't do that, and it's really easy, really quick, and doesn't damage your stamps. I'm now going to huff on that, just breathe, and then bottom left hand corner stamp the word shine like that. So that's that done. While I've got ink flying around, I'm going to take the matching ink pad, and as I say, you use the same ink to re-ink your markers as you do your pad, and then with the insert just stamp that. So that's that done, and then I can stop worrying about ink and put those bits out of the way. And then we just need to put the card together. Right, so all I'm going to do with this, I'm going to put the ribbon round first, and for that I'm going to take some fast fuse. As at this moment in Europe, fast fuse is still available. We do know that it will eventually be going, but in the meantime it is still available. Whether it's still available at the point where you watch this video, I don't know. So all I've done is put a little bit of fast fuse on the edge on the wrong side, and then I'm going to, not too tightly, just wrap the ribbon round. I have deliberately got a piece of ribbon that is too long, because then what I'm going to do is come back in and just go underneath that ribbon and tie a half knot. Now, adding the alcohol pen does make the ribbon a little bit stiffer, but actually that's not a bad thing, because it's a lovely ribbon, but it is quite a light ribbon, and as I say, adding the alcohol marker does make it a little stiffer, which means you can get a really nice shape from your ribbon. So I'm just cutting those bits, and we can put it all together. So the key to this is to build it from the top down. So I'm going to take lots of dimensionals, take a whole strip apparently, and add these to the back. This is a great project for using up edge pieces, and I do have some edge pieces that I probably will use up. But because this is going to be suspended, I do want it to be reasonably well covered with dimensionals, particularly as it's got a die cut in the middle, which takes out some of the intrinsic strength of the card. So it is quite useful to add all your little bits. I have seen people throw these away, which is a crime, because they are exactly the same material as the dimensionals themselves, and they work just as well, particularly if you put them in the right place. There we go. Right, okay, so that's that. Let's take these off. What are we doing time-wise? We're on 12 minutes, which for me is actually not bad. And I know there's not too much more to do. So I think these days there is probably no one who isn't touched in some way by autism. There are, I think I heard on the radio recently, they reckon that 1 in every 100 children, and therefore now it's going to be adults as well, is on the spectrum. So awareness is so vital, and it can hit people in so many different ways. It can be very subtle, or it can be really quite major. It can be so inhibiting. It's just... Anyway, right, the last piece I need to do is, actually tell you this. I've got a piece of, this is the Myths and Magic Shimmer Glimmer Glitter paper from the Spring Summer catalogue, and I've got a tiny strip there, and then I'm just, with this balloon punch, it's the Duo balloon punch, just going to punch one of the small balloons. Now, I happen to have put some sticky on the back, double-sided multi-purpose adhesive. So I've got that as a sticker now. Sticking anything to this is quite interesting. What's perfect is dimensionals, but I want the whole thing to be inset. So I'm going to use multi-purpose glue and apply it quite generously. This is very generous for me, to the glitter. By doing that, it means that there should be enough that actually sticks into the glitter, and then it's just a question of, let me just make sure that I scoop some of that down, building it up. And I tended to do it from the bottom up, but the glue will take a while to dry, so it does give you that wiggle room. You could use fast fuse on the back of your pieces, that would work, but that's going to reduce your ability to wiggle. And because these are going as the main feature rather than behind a die cut, which is what they're made for, I like the idea of being able to make sure they're in the right place. So I need to just add some glue to that end, because I seem to have been a bit mean on the right hand side. Getting glue all over me now. And I just want want my piercing tool, because that will mean I can move that from underneath. And then this on top. And then just wipe away any glue that comes through. And then I'm going to, as I say, this has got multi-purpose adhesive strip on the back. So if I peel the backing off, says she, hopefully. Oh! So this was supposed to speed things up. There we go. Once it comes, it's great. And then just line that up with the top of the coloured piece. And then this has also got, I want to take the little balloony bit off the end of my balloon. And then again, let's use the piercing tool. Do be careful that you don't end up spiking yourself. But it is sometimes just useful to be able to get into that little nooks and crannies. You see, I should have just accepted that it would have probably been quicker to do it without the sticky. And then just add that so that that can be the light bulb. And then, and this is where I think I used too much on the previous one, I've got some just Wink of Stella, just to add a little hint of on the rest of the card. Now it's probably best to wait until the background has been allowed to dry a bit. Let me just get some of that running through, and then it's just not good to have wet on the front and wet on the back. But for the sake of the video, I just want to add this before we finish, rather than just saying, and then add some Wink of Stella. There we go. So that's that. Then, don't need those bits anymore, don't need that anymore. Just pop the card together. So again, I'll use Fast Fuse because I've got it out. And I say all the dimensions, all the products that I've used will be on the blog post, which is immediately below, as will be some information about autism awareness and how to get to the other people on the blog hop. Please, 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 please go and have a look at what they've all been up to. I know it's something that I shall be interested in doing. And we literally have people from all over the world. So very well worthwhile going and hopping with everybody else. There we go. So just from the back, give that a good press. And there we are, my Autism Awareness Day card. So thank you very much indeed for watching. If you wish to make a donation to the National Autism Society, there'll be a link to their website on my blog. And obviously that would be wonderful if you did feel that you wish to make a donation to them. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed the project and I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Thanks a lot. Bye!